Hi everyone, welcome and thanks for joining me. I may have to adjust my computer a little bit, high tech. um, Today we're going to do a little medicine for the shoulders. And I like to think of medicine because when you think of medicine, you always think it's going to be good for you, right? Medicine makes you feel better. So everything in your life should be medicine. Movement as medicine is where it's at, right? That's where we're at. But before we start, I wanted to tell you a little joke I heard. Have you heard about the new drink in town? I know these are serious times, but that's why we have to laugh once in a while. It's called the Quarantini. It's gin and emergency. So people are going to be in their homes, drinking their quarantinis, and a few months from now, down the road, maybe a year from now, we're going to have a new generation of coronials. Okay, enough of that. So to begin with, we're going to start on our all fours. So get onto your all fours on your mat. If you have a mat, hopefully you do. And adjust yourself so you feel stable, right? Spread your fingers wide, wrists are somewhere under the shoulders, knees under the hips, right? Just get yourself so you feel nice and stable. And then we're just going to start by moving our shoulder blades, right? So we're not going to do a cat-cow thing. We're just going to keeping your arms straight, let your chest drop toward the mat. So you feel your rib cage drop, you feel your shoulder blades come together. And then we're going to press our shoulder blades open right, toward the sky. So inhale as you close your shoulder blades together. Exhale as you open them apart. You can think of a suitcase handle between your shoulder blades, and somebody's lowering the suitcase and then lifting the suitcase, right? It's also called a rhomboid push-up. So we're working the rhomboids, and you're going to just continue to do that a couple more times. You'll start to maybe get a little fatigued in there. Yeah, because you're really working those muscles around your scapula. Good. Inhale, last one. Exhale, open. Good. And now if you feel like your wrists need a break or you just want to give them a little shake, go ahead and do that. Continue to be on our all fours. Now we're going to find that neutral position. So we got closed, we got open, and then we have what I call neutral shoulder, which is right in between closed and open. And this will really stabilize your shoulders for the next thing. So find neutral shoulder and then extend one leg back. Whoops, I'm not quite on my mat. Extend one leg back, hold your neutral shoulder, other leg back, pull the belly in, keep that pelvis lifted so you're not sagging down, right? Keep your neutral shoulder. Good, take deep breaths. So I always find that when I do the plank position in neutral shoulder, I feel so much stronger, right? So just breathe deep here. Some of you might need to go onto your forearms. Maybe this is too much for your wrists, or you might need to make fists or fold your mat to create more padding. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to lower the ribs doing our rhomboid push-up, right? So letting the chest drop, not the hips, and then pressing the back open. So inhale. This might be too much for you in the full plank. Then drop your knees into half plank, right? So half plank can be somewhere in there, and just my knees, right? And then you're just going to do it in half plank. You can also do this on your forearms. You just won't get as much benefit, I think, right? So you're doing the rhomboid push-up here. Yeah, open, good. Or in full plank. And then coming to your neutral position, lower onto the knees if you're not already there. Come off of your wrists for a moment. And close, open. Squeeze, open. Squeeze, open. This will help release the wrists. And then maybe move them around. Yeah. Okay, then for the next thing, we're going to come onto our side. So let's take our come onto your left side. And you can be up on the wrist if that's comfortable for you. We're going to go into a side plank position. So if you're able to hold your whole body up there, otherwise what I do is I come onto my elbow. So elbow under the shoulder, and then we're going to straighten our legs. If you can do it with your legs straight, great. But if you want to cross, there's lots of options. Okay, take your top foot in front of your bottom leg. This is what I'm going to do. Or like I said, this way, or up on your hand. You have all those options. Lift the ribs, right? Really press into the ground. And then we're going to lift the hips. So we're coming into that side plank position. Yeah. And you're going to breathe here. Make sure your elbow's under your shoulder. And then you're just going to breathe and look around. So take your gaze maybe up and back. And when you involve the head and neck, and your arm can be here, your arm can be up there, farther over if you want. It can be down, it can be here. So I like to do it here. So what you want to do is just look around and notice what you feel in your trunk. Feel the connection between the movement of your head and neck and your trunk, right, as you're breathing. Good. Back and up. And breathe deep. Good. And then we're going to go ahead and lower. And then keeping this leg in front, or bringing it in front if it's not, bend the bottom leg. Press yourself up to a seated twist. So just a little break here. You're going to hold. This leg can be straight out in front if this is not comfortable, and you can pull this knee in with your leg straight in front as well. But we want to press our hip into the mat. We want to lift our spine, pull the knee in towards you, lift through the crown, take your right hand behind you, and pull yourself into a nice little twist. If you want, you can bring this arm around, right, and help you do it, or just hold on this way and let your gaze pull you into that twist. Take a couple breaths, right? Really let that twist happen for a moment. Twists are so good for us, keep us healthy, keep the organs massaged. Yeah, okay, and then come back to center. Let's go and twist the other way. So keeping your hip down, pressing into the inside of the right leg, bring your left arm back and pull yourself that direction. Yeah. Good. And come back. And then we're going to go on to our right side. Again, if you can be up on your hand and you're strong enough, your wrist can handle it, great. Otherwise, elbow on the mat, forearm on the mat, legs can be straight. Cross this leg in front. If you'd like to do that version, okay, lift the rib cage, lift the hips. And like I said, I like to reach for the sky because it helps me stay lifted. So we're going to breathe and look around. This might be your stronger side. It is mine. So we should have started with our stronger side, but that's okay. In general, you want to probably start with your stronger side. And let your head and neck be involved in this exercise, right? Keep breathing, nice and deep. Only going to be up here for 5 more minutes. Okay, so you're looking around. Breathe, yeah, and lower down. Okay, keeping this leg crossed or putting it there. Bend your bottom leg. Press yourself up to a seated twist. And here you want to anchor through that left hip. Lift tall, pull your knee in. Pull it in towards you. Good. And then we'll twist in that direction, either here or you can do this. Whatever way you prefer, but lift and then twist. And just breathe here. Looking behind to help pull you into that twist, right? And then coming back around to center and the other way. So lift tall, press into the inside of the left leg, right hand behind you, and look behind you and breathe. Hi, Jake. My cat, he's so lazy. Okay, come around. Oh, to be a cat. All right, and then we'll just uncross the legs and bring ourselves this way on the mat. So I think I'm feeling a little stronger in the shoulder area. If you can, point your fingers back away from you, or if you like to point your fingers toward your feet this way. I can't do either of those comfortably, so my fingers are going to point out to the side. So whatever works for you, right? Because we're going to lift up, and it's going to create stress on the wrists, right? So inhale, flex the feet. Exhale, press the hips up. Flexing the feet will help your knees. It protects your knees. That's why I always flex my feet in this position. So here we're going to breathe, and you have the option of this, right? So it's this. If you prefer it, it might be a little easier. You can go in and out. You can go both. You can go back and forth. But you want to just breathe. Yeah, just breathe deep, holding the pelvis up. That's the main thing. And this also stimulates our triple warmer meridian. So if you hold it for a minute or two, it's really good to stimulate and help nourish the triple warmer. In Chinese medicine, the triple warmer meridian has to do with the respiratory, which we want to strengthen anyway, the digestive, and the elimination meridians. So all of those are being supported and nourished by putting all this pressure on your wrists, basically. So inhale, and like I said, you can go here. You can play around by doing a little march, right? Holding your pelvis nice and still. Yeah, if you want a little more fun, you can add that. Good, inhale, and then as you exhale on this one, go ahead and lower the hips all the way down. Oh, and release. Let's bring our legs straight out in front of us. And just to add, shake it out, just add a little stretch over the legs here. You're going to feel the forward fold coming from your pelvis, right? So now if you really tighten the hamstrings, you can sit cross-legged, you can sit in diamond, you can let your knees bend and just be up like that. But try to start with your pelvis, even if your knees are bent, because your hamstrings are tight. Do this instead of this, right? So we want to pull the pelvis forward. I'm just acting as if I have really tight hamstrings, right? But if you can, straighten the legs. Gradually straighter, and then let your pelvis lead the way, and then you're going to eventually, wherever you can hold on to your legs or feet, right, stretch forward. Yeah, you can keep your back flat. You can round it a little bit. We just want to stretch the back of the back body, right? That's what we're going for here. You can try doing a little flat and round, flat and round. It helps you get a little deeper stretch. And then come up. So for the last piece, come on to your back around to the forearms, front ways. So if your wrists are really feeling a lot and you can't do on your hands again, come on to your forearms. Well, maybe I'll show it on the forearms, so you can do it either way. On the forearms, right, we're going to go here, and we're just going to go into a down dog, or pike, whichever we want to call it. But in down dog with your forearms is called a dolphin pose, right? So you're going to lift the hips up with your elbows on the mat or with your hands on the mat. So I'm showing you this version. And then, of course, your traditional version, right? I'm just going to stretch. Let your head hang. Let your knees be slightly bent, elongating the spine. Curl your tailbone up to get a deeper stretch, and let your heels eventually reach down toward the mat. You can walk if you like. Yeah, and then we're going to walk our hands a little bit away from our feet so that we can bring ourselves down to a plank. And back up. So just do a little rock here. I like to call this a down dog plank rock. And you're just going to go back and forth between the down dog, stretch the back of the legs, get your heels down if you're able to, and back into plank. Good. And we're breathing, right? We're breathing. Okay. And down. Now, those of you that are really strong, you want a little bit more fun here. You're going to take your one leg up, right? And you're going to bring it down when you come into your plank, across, and then take it up, and back down, and through, right, like that. You really want a nice workout of the upper body, because your shoulders are feeling so strong, and lift. And the other side. So you don't have to do this. You can stay in your down dog. Just hang out there, right? Or go back and forth from plank to down dog. Right? Reach and bring it down. And we're going to go ahead and from our down doggy, we're going to bring our knees onto the mat. Stretch back into the child's pose. Oh, we love the child's pose, right? Stretch back for a moment. And the last thing we're going to do, a little stretch for the shoulders. So I said this was going to be short. This is turning out to be kind of long. Okay, so bring your right arm out and all the way up as far as you can. Really lift. And then reach it through. And then bring it up. So we're rotating our rib cage around our spine and reach it through. Right? And also stretching a little bit in the shoulder, of course. And reach it through. Yeah. And we come to the other side. So left arm goes up and reach through. And lift up and reach through. Thoracic mobility is key to movement, to our healthy movement, right? So thoracic mobility this is a thoracic mobility exercise and a stretch. So there we go. Go ahead and come up. I'm breathing hard. That was a workout. So thank you all for joining me for my shoulder medicine piece. I think next we're probably going to do core medicine. So if you're looking forward to some core work, I will get that up as soon as I can and give you a nice core workout. Again, I'll modify it and try to make it work for everybody, but those of you that really want to work your core, I'll try to do my best to help you there too. So till next time, thank you for joining me.